Wow. What's that? Oh, that's what you want us to do?
Are you a good usher?
We're leading by example. I've never had experience. And here Walt's good. I thought Cantor was supposed to play a song.
He was supposed to play a song. I don't know what happened there. He went somewhere.
Do you want us to encourage people? Or?
Yeah, let's get people in here.
Okay, all right, I'll hold our seats.
Do this now.
Hi, hello, how are you? How are you? I am fantastic. Wow. I know.
Amazing.
I know. I'm
doing?
running with it.
Always an usher. But let's have been this our last year.
You'll never guess what I just figured out.
Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da. Ya da da. Ya da da. Ya da 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 da. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Ya la la. Ya la la. Ya la 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 la. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד. As we're all actually in this space together, friends, perhaps we can sing this last part all together. Hine ma tov ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad.
Okay, the 2024 annual meeting of Temple Bethel is being called to order. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you are here. I would like to start by thanking Marta and Glenn Karloff for the reception that we had before and is continuing afterwards. Thank you so much. Okay. Before we begin, I would like to call Rabbi Jonathan Beitch up to the bima to give us an opening prayer, please.
Thank you. So I want to start with a little text. Brief. In the Talmudic tractate of Sanhedrin, there is a definition of a Jewish community. And for that context, here is a list of the 10 aspects that every community must maintain. A court of law, a tzedakah fund that is collected by 2 people and distributed by 3, a synagogue, please react as you will, a synagogue, a mikveh, a proper bathroom, a doctor, a craftsperson, a bloodletter, a butcher, and a teacher of children. And some authorities would add an 11th requirement that there must be a provider of fresh fruit, because according to Talmud, fresh fruit gives different kinds of vision and mostly clearer. Now, we may be able to find 21st century analogs to these professions. I do hope we can do better than a bloodletter. But in short, a community requires all the aspects of communal existence that improve life itself in all its manifestations, both from the personal and the intimate to the great intentions and actions that define what it means to be a human race. So now I want us all to consider, before we begin our annual meeting, what it takes to make us a community in that grand Talmudic tradition of taking care of one another's needs. We have the capacity, friends, to offer personal services that touch one other person's inner soul. We have opportunities to feed people from our table of plenty. We have public bathrooms that are clean and safe. We have tzedakah opportunities to help many people, including our own members. We have school teachers who teach our young people, and we serve fresh fruit on occasion. My friends, it may be optional to belong to such a community such as ours. We know that the rate of synagogue affiliation is not at 100%, but our community is strong because you care about sustaining it, providing these aspects of life to those who might otherwise be lacking. And we must always acknowledge the privilege of ministering to this community's needs and to offer gratitude for that function. So as we offer the following benediction, we remember that our expression of thanks to God does not end at the conclusion of these proceedings today, but extends to every single act that we perform as a community. And so we offer this benediction. Praise to you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, who makes us sanctified people through our engaging in the business of our community. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'tzorchei hatzibur, and we say, Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you very much. I would like to welcome Executive Director Stephanie Kushner to the Bima to introduce the Temple Bethel staff. Stephanie.
Hi. Each year I get the honor to introduce staff, but luckily our staff needs no introduction. So today I want to tell you a few things about our staff members that you don't know. So Cantor Nami. Cantor is completing his 5th year here at Temple, and the gift that he brings is his calm and thoughtfulness that he brings to discussions and decisions. His ability to make me, who is somewhat of an impulsive thinker, to take a minute and think more broadly makes me a better executive director. Kendra Sager, our Director of Lifelong Learning, she is finishing her 1st year as our Director of Lifelong Learning, but has been at Temple for almost 8 years. Kendra's passion for Jewish education carries over to staff as well. In her mind, everything is a teaching moment, and it helps give us all a better perspective on our jobs. Melissa Osborne is our Director of Business Operations and just celebrated her 5th year here at Temple. Melissa's gift of organization and her ease of technology helps keep us organized. Even when some of us are resistant to that technology and organization, it benefits us all, both staff and volunteers. Our facility coordinator, we've been privileged to have our facility coordinator with us for over 19 years, whose attention to detail keeps this building looking like it's not over 80 years old, keeps all of our events running, as well as our live streaming. Aliza Hoffert has been our program coordinator and is our program coordinator and has been here over 11 years. Aliza has amazing attention to detail, which most of you do know who work with her, and often has a perspective on inclusivity and things that the rest of us just don't see. So although we may sigh at a long email of details we may have missed, it's only because we know she's right, and these are things we need to follow up on. Kathleen O'Connell is our lifelong learning coordinator, and Kathleen has been with Temple Bethel almost 3 years. Kathleen is a sponge when it comes to education. She doesn't just want to do her job, she wants to know the Jewish principles and the Hebrew language behind it all. So she's a great partner for Kendra because Kendra wants to educate and Kathleen wants to learn. Sarah Popkowitz is our communication coordinator and has been with us for 3 years. Every one of you have experienced Sarah's talent, so that's no surprise. And luckily, she's not only talented, but extremely patient because not all of us at all times are able to get things in on our deadlines, which really messes with her because you guys get a lot of communication and all of that has to have some graphics component. So we really appreciate her grace in understanding when we're not on time. Summer Koff has been with Temple almost 3 years, and if you've spoken to Summer, you know that they have a great dry sense of humor. And as staff, we really appreciate that when it comes out at our all-staff meeting and we're debating things on the calendar and how to get things done, and out pops a wonderful relief of humor. We have additional facility assistant that we've been fortunate to have for over 7 years at all of our food-related events, and if you're anyone that has planned any food-related event here, you know you don't want to do it without her. I want to thank Alex Kushner for completing his 2nd year as our Maddie advisor, and Sydney Kushner for completing her 1st year as our juniors advisor, and an early welcome to Carly Schift, who's going to be our next Muddy advisor. We're fortunate to have a strong team of youth advisors to really enhance our children's experience here. And of course, our staff introduction wouldn't be complete without Rabbi Beich, and I purposely wanted to end with Rabbi. If you've attended either the Mitzvah lunch, the May 19th toast to Rabbi Beich, or read the many communications that just touch on his legacy here at Temple, you already know what he brings to this community. I have worked with Rabbi in many capacities over the 19 years we have both worked at Temple. I have had starts and stops, but luckily he didn't. He carried through all 19 years. I could tell you a bunch of stories from our shared history. Now you threw me off. I don't do that to you. I could tell you a bunch of stories from our shared history that started when he was a new rabbi and I was a new program director. I was excited with him to plan holiday celebrations, a temple retreat, and a camping trip, all the way through to now being colleagues and helping to lead Temple Bethel. Many of you have heard about Rabbi's sense of humor, but I think he actually tests a lot of his material out on us as staff. So we all know firsthand that he's a funny person, but he's also humble. He can take the jokes we throw right back at him, and he also makes fun of himself, which is a great leader in our staff to help us all. I appreciate the way he views our community and the world, which broadens my perspective as someone who defaults to the details. I have enjoyed our weekly coffee meetings, which give us time to talk about Temple Bethel, but also has allowed us to become friends. I want to thank the board in this community for once again allowing me to work with these great people on staff, the volunteers I lovingly call my unpaid staff, and all the leaders and community members. Thank you.
Stephanie Kushner, everybody. Wonderful. So you all had a chance to review the minutes from last year's annual meeting. I hope you all took that opportunity. Are there any questions or corrections on last year's annual meeting minutes? Hearing no questions or corrections, the minutes are approved as presented. We made it through one page. I'm so excited. So now it's that time where I get to say a few words that are a different kind of script. So bear with me. 2 years ago, I stood here at this bima in front of many of you on the brink of change for our community, and I asked you to accompany me on this journey. I shared the story of Nachshon, who stepped into the Red Sea, or Reed Sea, even before the waters parted as an act of faith. And I asked you all to take my hand and to follow me through this time in our shared history. At that time, this community was feeling so many things, and in times of change, there are going to be so many things to feel. And thus, we began my term, which can probably be best described as an adventure, and what an adventure it has been. In my 2-year term, we negotiated and completed a Rabbi Emeritus agreement with Rabbi Jonathan Beitch to begin July 1st. We started a past President's Council. We restarted the very important work of the Caring Committee. We have a contract with and have completed our first full year with our new Director of Lifelong Learning, Kendra Sager, who has already brought so many positive changes to our program and our community. We spent many months and a whole lot of effort to complete and implement the Temple Bethel Code of Ethical Conduct and Visitor's Guide. We designed and conducted a full listening campaign, including in-person and Zoom sessions, and a written survey, and then we provided the full written report to the congregation on who we are now and where we see ourselves going. We kept the TBE community apprised of our transition progress with regular communications. We named and assembled a search team who worked tirelessly for almost a year, conducting and completing an excellent search for our successor Rabbi Jonathan Prosnett. We planned and conducted a congregational meeting to hold a congregational vote to ratify the selection of the search committee according to our bylaws, as you know, and so many of you showed up and participated in this important moment in the history of Temple Bethel. This community, you all showed up for yourselves, and I was very proud of you. We negotiated and signed a contract with Rabbi Jonathan Prosnett to begin July 1st. We have designed and begun a Hello Committee to best welcome Rabbi Prosnett and his family into our community. We have been enjoying beautiful events honoring Rabbi Jonathan Beitch's legacy here, with thanks to all those who have been working on building those events. We conducted our Atidenu, our future emerging TBE leaders, 2024 leadership training class with 14 graduating students, and several of these folks, almost half, moving on to the new board this afternoon. We finally, after many years, have brought the, Stephanie, where are you? I'm gonna do it wrong. Would you come here, please? I should have asked you before. Hold on. We finally, after many years, have brought the Deutschkron cabinet into a special Holocaust education area of the library, where it is now, where it will join one of our special Holocaust memorial Torahs, which will be enclosed in a special case, which is coming in just a couple weeks. An important project that has meant so much to so many. The other memorial Torah is here behind me in the Ark, and you will see it soon when it is time to install the new board. This afternoon, as you know, because you got the email, we will vote on an adjustment to the bylaws to allow voting in a hybrid congregational meeting. And since October 7th, we have been seeking to meet the moment, helping our community to process all that has been going on in our world. There will be other challenges in the future, and we can meet them as long as we hold together and we hold each other tight. As a community, Temple Bethel may change her leaves, but she will never change her roots. The future of this Temple Bethel community, my friends, is bright, very bright. To the new board, keep your eyes on this community, on the needs of each other. This community is precious, this congregation is precious, and it needs to be cherished. After a long process of crossing the Red Sea, we have now reached the other shore. It has been my honor to be your board president and to collaborate with so many of you. It has been my joy. Thank you for your trust. Thank you to Rabbi Beitch, Cantor Namey, Stephanie Kushner, Kendra Sager. Thank you to the Board of Trustees and to the entire Temple Bethel staff. Thank you to my family, to my husband Russell, for sharing me with all of you. This ride, this amazing ride, is now over, and the train is pulling into the station. It has been a good adventure. Thank you. If I have any complaints, it's that there was maybe a little too many hairpin turns and not enough cotton candy. Please remember, as the poet Rumi has said, that if everything around you looks dark, look again, because you may be the light. May we move together from strength to strength. I would like to call Dale Cunin up to offer the treasurer's report. Thank you. Oh, darn, I made another mistake. Come on up. Come with me. No, come with me. I like you. Before the treasurer's report, we have this motion on the table from the board. We are proposing this change to the bylaws so that hybrid voting can occur during congregational meetings. Previous amendments to the bylaws have allowed remote-only meetings, but did not provide for a combination of in-person and remote voting. Are there any questions on this motion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? The motion carries. Thank you. Okay, Dale, it's you. Here we go. Go.
Hi, I'm Dale Cunin, co-treasurer, and it is really my pleasure to be able to be up here and give this treasurer's report. It's a happy report, and it gives me great pleasure to be able to share with you that Temple Bethel is fiscally very healthy, and I'm happy. The actual financial information is in your program, and I want to point out just a couple things that our congregation takes a lot of money to run, and I see that in the minutes from last year, I said we've been running deficits, and that's no longer the case. We are budgeting responsibly, and we are not running deficits, and we are recognizing that the almost $7.5 million of donor funds that Temple has the privilege of having needs to be used for the purposes that they were donated. And so we now budget and plan for expenses to be paid from those funds. And it's important to know that we have a very generous compilation of endowments. And I'm sorry, Leslie, I don't remember, you had a number of congregations that have endowments, which was like...
It's a very small percentage of URJ congregations in North America that have endowments. It's surprising.
And we have over $7 million of restricted funds. So, and our member contribution plan, which I will say that I worked on getting us to for a long time, it works. I guess to my surprise, but not Stephanie's, our congregation has responded, and we have already, and this is May, well, I guess it's June, but I've looked at the May books, we've already collected more member contributions than we budgeted for. And our congregation is rising to the challenge that we gave them with our member contribution model, and I love it. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Just comment that in the old days when I used to give the treasurer's report, it was always in the social hall. and I made the financial statements available to everybody. Harry Tobias, of blessed memory, always had a question. It was like his thing. So I miss him, and is there anybody that has a question? Then
Anybody want to offer Harry's question?
that's my report.
Thank you, Dale. Dale, we are very, very lucky to have Dale. So thank you, Dale. Steve Lifton, would you join me up here on the bema, please? Steve is going to give the report of the nominating committee. I would like to thank the nominating committee for their time and attention, led by Steve Lipton. The committee was comprised of Mark Burgum and Sarah Ben, Brian Jacobson, Steve Lipton, Stephanie Kushner, and I were ex officio. Steve, you could stand here with me for a second, but I'm going to take a moment to thank the outgoing board members. Personal space.
I tried to stand back.
Yeah. I would like to thank the outgoing board members for their contributions of time and heart to our community. I have gifts, so please come up when your name is called. I want to acknowledge that Casey Becker and Rachel Geisler and Scott Paler could not be here this afternoon, but now. Linda Rivitz. You could just stand up here with us because Steve will make room for you, I promise. And Lauren Schmick. And Karen Horler. I will be distributing the presents in a second, but here we go. You have all, I have to talk into the mic, but I'm actually talking to you three, okay? You have all given so much of yourselves to this community. We are very, very appreciative. You are getting certificates. Your certificates read, "It is with heartfelt appreciation that we recognize that you have given so much of your time and your heart to the Temple Bethel Board of Trustees. Thank you for your generosity to our shared community. May you continue in a life of blessings." Linda. Karen. Let's give them a round of applause. Here, babe. This is you. This is you until here. Go.
Rachel there? All right, I'm going to go. Well, thank you all. It was my pleasure to chair the nominating committee this year, and I really want to thank those folks who were on there. It is hard work. It is not the process of flipping through the Temple directory and poking your finger at whatever name comes up. It's actually scientific, and I know it's scientific because we have a spreadsheet. I do want to just take a quick second and thank Leslie, my predecessor.
I'm your predecessor?
You're my predecessor.
I'm your successor.
Well, you're my successor? Can we diagram this just for a second? That would be awesome, thank you. Spreadsheet would be helpful. My successor, Leslie, who stepped into it, a hard role. It's hard to be president of this congregation, and I appreciate the work that she's done. I appreciate all that we've accomplished and the things that she has shared with all of us and all that we've learned from her in this process. And I want to be, and I'm going to jump the gun and be the first to welcome you to the past president's role. As the newest past president, you do provide wine and donuts at all of our meetings. Chocolate-covered yellow cake for me. All right, I'll move on now because I know we all want to get to the treats out there. So I am presenting a motion out of the nominating committee to elect the following slate. As our new president, Marta Kala. As our first vice president. Did I say come up? No. I didn't? Marta Karloff, you are not president yet. You will still sit down. All right, just want to clarify that. Susanna, stay seated. First vice president, Julia, I think you get it now. You're good. Second vice president. As treasurer, our co-treasurers, and thank you for a lovely report, Dale Kunin and Carly Jacobson. Our recording secretary, Michelle Gustafson. Our immediate past president, I kind of gave that away, Leslie. Our men's club president, Alan Schwartzstein. Our sisterhood representative, we're still waiting for that person to be elected. Our Maddie president, Henry Maloney. At-large board members that will serve on the executive committee. For those who don't know, our executive committee is comprised of all the officers of the board. And the chair of the executive committee, who's the president, has an opportunity to also select some at-large members if they choose to, who can provide their wisdom and guidance on the executive committee. And two folks that will be participating there are Dan Esser, I can't talk, Jane Taves. I only had one glass of wine, I swear. Oh, and Barbara Katz will also, I didn't have that on my list. Nominated for a second term, we have Barbara Katz and Vic Levy and Sarah Sherman. Nominated for a first term, we have Amy Goldman, Joe Lanus, Todd Geisfeld, Rachel Kahn, David Seligman, and Lala Naid. And then, very specially, nominated for a lifetime trustee as an appreciation of the service she's provided and the wisdom that she continues to provide us all, Jane Taves. Our returning board members will be Gwen Jacobson, Roger Walkoff, Leslie DeLange, and Sarah Ben. And I'm out of here.
Thank you, Steve. All right, is there any discussion on the slate as it has been presented? Any questions? Let's have a vote. All in favor of that slate? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Congratulations to Temple Bethel's 2024-2025 Board of Trustees. Now, I will be calling your name up, and please come up for your installation. You ready? Marta Karloff, Susanna Goldberg, Julia Katz, Dale Kunin, Michelle Gustafson, Alan Schwartzstein, Henry Maloney, Dan Esser, Barbara Katz, Victor Levy, Todd Geisfeld, Rachel Kahn, David Seligman, Lana Naid, Roger Walkoff, Leslie DeLange, Sarah Ben. After the installation, all past presidents, please join us up here on the bema, if you're present. People on the bema, please stay in position for a picture. Aliza likes when we have a picture, so.
Good afternoon again. Oh, you're a past president. No, yeah, you are. We just had the election. So yes, you stay. Don't go. So don't go.
Should I stay or should I?
No, definitely stay. Yesterday morning, we had the privilege of welcoming to this bema our next confirmation class. And as they stood before the ark, and as they read from the scroll of Torah, one thing happened that they knew was going to happen, but that we did it because it's so important. And that is the fact, I think, as Leslie had mentioned earlier, that the scroll that our confirmands read from is one of our Holocaust scrolls. This is a scroll whose provenance we're not exactly certain of, other than the fact that it came from Czechoslovakia, that it was hiding, if you will, it was captured, technically, in a warehouse somewhere in Prague, for 19 years after the conclusion of the war. God knows how many years it was there before the war ended. This particular scroll is a beautiful scroll. It is a legible scroll. Our confirmation class, one member of which is on the bima right now because he's our Maddie youth representative, they held that scroll in their arms as they read from it, and they undressed it and they dressed it. And this board will also take that scroll into their arms as they prepare now to, as a group, take this congregation to its next pinnacle of performance and goodwill and success. And so as you see this scroll, friends, as you take this scroll in your arms, we want to especially thank you for your service. We want to help us understand what it means to have that heritage of leadership with us here in this community. And that scroll, which is actually more than 200 years old, we think, it's actually a lighter scroll than the other scrolls. So when you hold this scroll, you may think, oh, it's a big scroll, it's very heavy. The other scrolls are much heavier too, but you'll have a chance to hold those as well. And with the congregation, please rise as we open the ark and bring forth this Torah scroll. Okay, friends, you can just hold the ark. Yeah, you can actually stand in front of the doors here. And let's leave the ark. Leave the ark open, but you can stand in front of it. That's okay. Yeah. I'm going to put this down for a moment. This is my blessing. This is our blessing, our installation for our new board. Holy One of blessing, dear God, bestow your blessing upon these new leaders of Temple Beth El, who have been elected and who have chosen to serve our congregation. May they fulfill their mandate to lead and support our community with a whole heart. May they instill in us, may they earn and may they act on trust and preserve the trust of this community in the year ahead. Instill in them insight, understanding, integrity, transparency, perseverance, patience, honor, diligence, a sense of warmth when engaging with all the needs and desires of our members. Inspire them to work together in pursuit of our community's greatest aspirations, even as they serve as stewards to the synagogue's daily needs. Oh God, we are grateful for the dedication and giving spirit that bring these leaders before you, these trustees who are both new to and seasoned by the tasks at hand. They are prepared to devote their energies to your service, to the service of this community, to the benefit of us all. Grant success to their endeavors. And as they seek God's protection and beneficence as they serve, we are with them in the spirit of community and peace.
May the one who blessed our fathers, may the one who blessed our mothers, bless us too, this holy congregation. Mishe berach avoteinu, Mishe berach imotenu, hu yivarech et kol hakahal hakadosh hazeh. Mishe berach avoteinu, Mishe berach imotenu, hu yivarech et kol hakahal hakadosh hazeh. The families gathered here today who make us what we are, those who give funds for heat and light, those who give help to the stranger and poor, all our children, the families yet to be. May we know the blessing of peace. Misheberach Avoteinu, Misheberach Imoteinu, Hu Yivarech et kol HaKa'al HaKadosh Hazeh, HaKadosh Hazeh, HaKadosh Hazeh.
Please be seated.
Except,
Accept.
pushing in, you can take the pictures and we can make a leave it happen.
To your left, thanks. That's what it's okay.
But let's figure out where the rabbi and I should squish. All right. Yeah, we're just gonna squish it.
You don't want to be in it, Steve? No? We need more crouching? Closer. Oh, maybe we have to go sideways. Sideways? Oh,
Any, anybody who will then need help getting back up.
Oh, yes. Turn,
We could turn in a little
turn,
bit.
turn inward toward the middle, everyone. Squeeze a little. Okay.
All righty. Yeah.
You're almost done hearing from me.
All righty.
It's almost the end. We're so close. We're so close. Okay. Thank you, Rabbi Beit and Cantor Nami. Thank you so much to the newly installed board. Thank you for your continued commitment to this community. And now I would like to introduce to you the president of Temple Beth El's Board of Trustees, Marta Karlov.
Hello, Temple Bethel. It's so good to see you. It's good to be here. I stand before you today with immense gratitude and humility as I accept the role of serving as your synagogue president. It is truly a privilege to be entrusted with this role in a community with such a rich history that has embraced my husband and me with open arms. I may cry. Though many of you may not know me personally, I feel deeply connected to each of you, and I am continually inspired by the incredible warmth and welcoming spirit that defines this congregation. As a Latina Jew by choice with Sephardic roots, who grew up in a Catholic household in Colombia, that's a mouthful, I am profoundly honored to serve in this capacity. I bring with me a commitment to lead with joy and through Jewish values, collaboration, love, and respect. I am acutely aware of the wisdom passed down by those who came before me, and I am dedicated to building upon their legacy and keeping them close. I'm also committed to approaching challenges that will inevitably present with humility and a willingness to learn and grow from them. I promise to give my absolute best to this community, and I recognize the importance of stepping aside to let our experts, including our clergy, volunteers, educators, and staff, shine in their respective roles. It is important to acknowledge the significance of this moment in time. We're living in an era of unprecedented change, turmoil, and uncertainty. Yet, I am confident that together, we can face anything that comes our way through strengthening our congregation, deepening our bonds, and leaning on our traditions and values. I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to my predecessor, Leslie Koff. Thank you for your unwavering dedication to preparing us for the future and ensuring that we remain closely aligned with the guidance of Reform Judaism. As I step into this role, I am honored to follow in your footsteps. On behalf of the community, I would like to present a gift of thanks in the form of a tree of life, representing the vibrancy and growth that you fostered during your time as president. It is also from an organization that donates part of their proceeds to helping children. We hope it brings you joy. Leslie, can you come up? Finally, thank you to my wonderful husband and amazing friends of TBE who brought drinks, flowers, delicious appetizers, and desserts waiting for us outside for us to enjoy. We couldn't have done it without you. In closing, I also want to extend my deepest thanks to Rabbi Cantor, Stephanie, and the TBE team, board, committee members, volunteers, for the privilege of serving alongside you during this pivotal moment in our community's history. Together, I am confident that we can overcome any obstacle and continue to thrive. I now call for a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion? Steve? Second. Sue? All in favor? Aye. This meeting is now adjourned. Please join us in the community court for amazing desserts.